For once, you had to let the pictures do all the talking, at least for the start. The raw emotions there, the general vibe, all the celebrations right after that match spoke volumes of what we all witnessed earlier today. We spoke of cricket coming into its own in the Caribbean, a country that has given birth to many glorious cricketing heroes and achievements, being the perfect destination for sport to reignite dreams, and it did not disappoint. Afghanistan, that took its first steps in ICC World Cups only as late as 2015, has made it to its first ever World Cup semi-final. At the turn of a decade, just about, since their debut, that is just astounding. And it is one of the best things to happen to cricket itself. Australia has been sent packing, and Afghanistan instead sets up its date with destiny against South Africa for a place in the World Cup final. Now, I love a good come-from-behind story, a coming-of-age narrative. I mean, who doesn't? And this one was near perfect. Edge of the seat, dramatic thriller till the very end. A superb finish to the Super 8s of the World Cup. Now, there was plenty of drama right through the game, and I just have to highlight some of those right away. The surface was challenging, but Rahmanullah Gurbaz for Afghanistan, the opener at the top, set the tone. At one stage, though, after the middle order collapse, Rashid Khan at the crease wanted to get as many runs as he could, and at one stage even threw his bat in anger towards his partner at the other end, who refused to take a second run that would give Rashid Khan the strike for a couple of more deliveries. That's how badly he wanted to win. That's how bad every moment was. There was a sense of desperation every single moment of the game. And with a target of 116, Bangladesh would have fancied their chances of even knocking out Australia and making it to the semi-final themselves. For that, they had to get to that target in the 13th over itself. The conditions were not easy, as I've said, and rains kept disrupting play right through. But both sides were in with a chance at every given chance and every given moment, especially with Litton Das still there keeping Bangladesh's hopes alive. There were a few moments that became massive talking points from the match. First up, Bangladesh was inching towards the target, just 30-odd runs with a little more than 2 overs left to get them in to qualify for the semi-finals. And yet they did not go for the big shots. They did not try to force the result that would have got them to the top 4. They decided to take it slow. Now, it's fine to want to secure a win instead of going for glory, but this was a shot at being in the semi-finals of a World Cup. They don't come lightly. To me, that came off as a negative mindset. That only meant that you were defensive in your head, that you were okay with not making it to a World Cup semi-final, but you'd rather your opponent not get the chance either. More importantly, you're sending exactly this very message to your opposition, who needs just a win to make it. That's it. Rashid Khan and Afghanistan were in it. They were fighting. They knew this mindset, they knew what they were getting into, and they were pouncing on any given shot, cutting off every run they could. Their bowlers were keeping it tight, going for the kill. The other talking point, of course, came towards the end, when things were getting a little tantalizingly close for comfort and bringing it to an edge of the seat thriller. The rains, of course, kept coming in at regular intervals, and with that, the DLS kept coming into play, adding more drama to this whole occasion. At one point, Bangladesh were trailing by the DLS revised target by 2 runs. So Jonathan Trott, the Afghanistan head coach, shouted across to his boys to slow it down, as it had just started to rain once more. Seeing that, Gulbuddin Naib, of course, had slipped, caught his hamstring and pretended he was in pain. No one was amused, and as the teams walked off because it started raining, and Bangladesh's Litton Das also imitated Naim limping away. He, of course, smiled it off right then because the rains had not stopped the game. But I'm sure if it had, Bangladesh wouldn't have been smiling. Maybe Gulbuddin Naib misunderstood what Trott was saying. Instead of slow down, he probably thought go down, and he promptly lay down on the ground. Netizens and experts alike were quick to take to social media on this, and memes were viral all round. course, our Ashwin also coming in with the tweet of the day where he says, give the red card to Gulbadin already. But yes, the rain became a bit of a third player in this entire day. Too many stop and start occasions that both the teams had to endure, particularly in the second innings. And that would have been a little frustrating for both these sides, but it was that kind of a game. You had to hold your nerves. You had to be there despite all the interruptions to hold on to any given chance that you possibly had to make it, because both of them were in it to fight right till the end. Afghanistan bowlers held their nerve right through. I cannot pick one on the day. Rashid Khan gave the breakthrough with 2 back-to-back strikes, just as the going was getting a little easy for Litton. Noor kept it tight. The younger bowler, in fact, was very, very good at one end. Naib broke a partnership. Yes, he came back after that fake hamstring pull there and broke a key partnership. Now, I say partnership here because in a chase like this, it is one who just stands there in support to the key man, in this case, Litton Das, who matters a lot. Because you're then suddenly staring at a tail that Naveen-ul-Haq cleaned right up. Even then, all Litton Das had to do was stay and get some strike. But Afghanistan held on to that thread of hope to take their team across the line for the most memorable win in their entire history. The stadium erupted. Everyone ran onto the field. The crowd was in splits. Afghan supporters in the stands calling people back home and dancing. This win clearly meant a lot to this country. Those are exclusive pictures, right? A few hours after the win, with the team heading back to the hotel, they're of course living in the moment, exactly what one of their mentors, DJ Bravo, always says. You've got to celebrate the moments, the big wins, or even the smaller moments of your career in this sport, because they don't come that easy. But the pillars of this victory, the pillars of this campaign so far, now I have to start with Jonathan Trott here, a man who the team clearly rallies around, someone who himself took a break from cricket, gave it all up because he could not keep up with the mental strain of the sport. For someone like him to come on board and take charge of a relatively young side in international cricket means something. Even if you saw those pictures of him being carried on the shoulders after the game, you know how much his contribution means to this young side. This team is giving him so much more than what his entire career as an England cricketer did. Rashid Khan, next up, has been an inspirational leader. He still did not admit that Gulbadin Naib probably faked that hamstring injury. Not that good to go about the way, not the way you want to go about things right there. But that aside, he's been instrumental in this team's success. He's a key aspect, a key man in that dressing room. They listen to him. They look to him for all advice and to move ahead. Then, of course, DJ Bravo, who was seen patrolling the ropes as he watched his players, nervous as he could be, trying to defend a very small total. Not that much in hindsight, though. He's another key man to this country's cricket campaign. There is belief with this team and this group of players. A dark horse in this tournament. They started out as that, but now they're one of the contenders and one who cannot be taken lightly. Here's what I think is one huge aspect that will be the cornerstone of their campaign here, that they will take forward to that knockout game, and that's been their evolution as a cricket team, a proper, potent cricket side. From starting off their cricket journeys as a country with bits and pieces players who could bat and bowl a bit, to batters who could tonk, they are now a well-rounded team who is learning to hold their ground. They're not buckling under pressure. Nothing is too overawing. They just defended 100 odd runs. Sure, it was against Bangladesh, but such a win is sure to give a kind of confidence and momentum that can really transform any key moment. And it's a semi-final. So that's there. 4 semi-finalists all decided. It's down to the last 3 matches to decide who the winner would be for this T20 World Cup 2024.